Is being kind a sign of weakness, or is it a hidden strength that we undervalue? Kindness is one of those qualities that's often talked about in a pretty mixed way. We praise it, yet we secretly suspect it. We teach it to our children, yet we warn them the world will eat them alive if they embody it too completely. It's a virtue trapped in a paradox, celebrated in theory, but weaponized in practice. The kind are labeled as naive, as pushovers, as people who haven't yet learned the brutal rules of the real world. Their compassion is seen as a strategic error, a flaw in their armor to be exploited. But what if this entire framework is a profound miscalculation? What if our very definition of strength is catastrophically wrong? Imagine the last time you withheld kindness to project strength. That moment you chose sarcasm over support or silence over solace, believing it made you seem more powerful, more resilient, more in control. Feel the hollowness of that victory. Now, consider this unsettling thought. True weakness isn't in offering kindness, it's in being too afraid to offer it. The real fragility lies in the fear of being perceived as weak. It is the insecure individual who must constantly project invulnerability. So who is truly stronger? The one who gives from a place of abundance, or the one who hoards their compassion out of scarcity and fear? This is not a simple question of morality, but a deep psychological puzzle about the nature of power itself, a puzzle we are about to solve. This suspicion of kindness isn't a personal failing. It's a cultural inheritance, a defense mechanism forged in the fires of societal evolution. Philosophers like Friedrich Nietzsche famously framed traditional morality as a slave morality, a clever psychological tool invented by the powerless to shackle the strong. In this ruthless calculus, unconditional kindness is not strength, but a strategic surrender, a way for the weak to impose their own rules on the game they cannot win. This idea seeped into our collective subconscious, teaching us to equate success with a kind of benevolent ruthlessness. We admire the titans of industry, the victors, the ones who seem to operate by a colder, more efficient logic. Psychologically, this creates a schism. Carl Jung might suggest we then relegate kindness to our shadow self, the part of our personality we deem unacceptable and repress to fit into a world that rewards competition and individual achievement. We perform a calculated, transactional generosity, but we guard against the raw, unconditional kind. We fear that to be truly kind is to open a floodgate of vulnerability, to invite exploitation, to become a supporting character in someone else's story. This conditioning is so deep, so automatic, that we often don't even question its origins. We simply accept that the world is a certain way and adjust our softness accordingly to survive within it. But what is the true cost of this adjustment? What reality have we built by accepting this brutal bargain as the only way to exist? The consequence of this bargain is a world starved of genuine connection, where performative kindness masks a deep-seated transactional anxiety. We have built systems that reward the opposite of vulnerability, conditioning us to see human interaction as a series of strategic moves. This creates a silent, pervasive loneliness, a cognitive dissonance where we crave authentic warmth, yet systematically devalue it. Neurologically, we are wired for empathy. Mirror neurons fire, not just for our own actions, but for the actions and emotions of others. To suppress kindness is to fight our own biology, creating a low-grade internal conflict that manifests as stress, cynicism, and a numbness to the suffering around us. Culturally, this bias manifests as a celebration of the hard-edged, the cynical, the realist. We are conditioned to believe that the person who anticipates betrayal is smarter than the one who offers trust. This isn't just a social preference, it's a trap. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy where the expectation of hostility justifies preemptive defensiveness, creating the very hostile environment we feared. We become prisoners of our own guardedness, living in a reality of our own making, one where true strength, the strength to be open, to connect, to build, is systematically bred out of us. But what if the ultimate act of rebellion isn't to armor up, but to dare to disarm? What if the real power move has been hiding in plain sight all along? The rebellion begins with a radical redefinition of power itself. True strength is not the absence of vulnerability. It is the courage to be vulnerable with intention. Look to Viktor Frankl, who in the depths of a concentration camp realized that the last of human freedoms is the ability to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. To be kind, then, is not to be blind to cruelty. It is a profound act of defiance against it. It is an active choice, a conscious deployment of your inner resources. It requires immense fortitude to offer compassion when you receive hostility, to maintain integrity when surrounded by cynicism. This is not the weakness of submission. It is the strength of the deeply anchored. This is the counterintuitive solution. The most powerful position is not one of control over others, but of unwavering command over your own humanity. Historical and fictional figures who changed the world, from Mandela to MLK, did not do so through hardened isolation, but through a relentless, strategic, and often costly empathy. Their kindness was their leverage. It disarmed opponents, built movements, and revealed the brittleness of brute force. To break free is to realize that kindness is a currency only those with deep reserves can spend. It is the ultimate power move, transforming every interaction from a battle to be won into a connection to be built. But this leads to one final, staggering question. If this is true, what does it say about the very fabric of reality we inhabit? The ultimate truth is that kindness is not a social nicety. It is a fundamental law of human physics. It is the hidden architecture of trust upon which all lasting empires, relationships, and innovations are built. The paradigm shift is this. What we dismissed as weakness is actually the highest form of pragmatic intelligence. A kind act creates a ripple, altering the ecosystem around you in ways sheer force never could. It builds social capital, fosters loyalty, and opens doors that coercion slams shut. This is the final realization. The world you perceive is not a fixed, hostile arena, but a malleable reality shaped by your interactions. Your kindness does not make you a victim of the world. It makes you a creator of a new one. It is a quiet revolution against the barren logic of transactional existence. Every moment you choose compassion over cynicism, you are not losing, you are recalibrating the universe, however slightly, toward connection. So the question is no longer whether kindness is weak or strong. The question is, what kind of world do you want to inhabit? And even more importantly, what kind of world will you have the courage to build? One deliberate, revolutionary act of kindness at a time. The power was never in the armor. It was always in the open hand. What this shows us is that kindness isn't just a feel-good trait. It's a powerful strength. It's the ability to see the bigger picture, to understand that we're all connected, and to act in a way that benefits everyone. So, let's sum it up. Kindness isn't a weakness. It's a strength. It's about being brave enough to care, to listen, and to help others. True strength often lies in compassion and empathy. If you've had an experience where kindness made a difference in your life, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And if you're interested in exploring more about the power of kindness and compassion, check out my other video on the topic. I think you'll really enjoy it.